So, aside from the obvious kind of big regions of central Spain, such as Ribera del Duero that we've spoken about previously, there are a lot of kind of up-and-coming regions. I guess by up-and-coming, I mean they're up-and-coming on the world stage. They've been classic regions in Spain for a very, very long time. One of them is the Toro region. Now, Toro is also right around Madrid. And they make wines from the Tempranillo variety as well, only its particular climate is considerably hotter than Ribera del Duero, and so the wines are considerably riper. If you are a fan of Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon, then these are kind of the wines for you. They're super high in alcohol. They're traditionally made Spanish wines. They have a lot of unique character of the region. They're really fun. Now, another surprise from the region is the Rueda wines, and these are kind of the new it wine very recently. In addition to the region of Toro, there are a couple of other small appellations around the central Spain, Madrid kind of area, one being Cigales. And this is kind of a lesser-known version of Ribera del Duero. They also use Tinto de Toro or Tinto Fino or Tempranillo, whatever you particularly want to call it. And it's also a hot, arid region. One of the defining characteristics that makes it a little bit different is that its vineyards are often considerably more sloped than those of Ribera del Duero. And this creates a more difficult environment for the vines. They have a harder time finding water. And for the most part, when you have a vine that's more stressed, it'll produce a better wine. In this case, they're kind of a less expensive way to get into Ribera del Duero styled wines. And they're beautiful, and they're often really great values. Another really surprisingly great region is the Rueda region of central Spain, and here's why it's a surprise. Typically in a really hot environment, red wine varieties thrive and white wine varieties don't do really well, but there is a water-saving white variety called Verdejo, and its kind of little brother Viura that are produced in the region of Rueda, and this is just as hot as Toro, just as dry, just as arid, but somehow makes this incredibly tropical wine that often has these really expressive characteristics of grapefruit, and my favorite and what I think is the really expressive characteristic of the variety is the passion fruit style to it. So they're often really fun wines, and you'll notice in the bottles of them that they'll likely say Rueda more than they'll say Verdejo or more than they'll say Viura. It is also legal in this region to use Sauvignon Blanc, but I don't find them to be nearly as expressive or as interesting as the classic varieties of the region.